Hello and welcome to Self-Critical, where a group of Afrophobic friends come together to RP actually going outside. I'm your humble dungeon master, Andy Purcell, and this is our hopeful hero. Say hello, hopeful heroes.
Hello, hopeful heroes.
We wrapped up chapter 1 of the Witchlight Carnival, and this is going to be our level up episode. Everyone was level 3. We've advanced to level 4. We're going to be rolling hit dice for hit points and just kind of talking about our level ups and a recap of chapter 1. So if anyone would like to begin with rolling those dice for hit points, let's go down. Let's start at the far end. So we'll start with Dahlberg.
I wish I could roll that one.
Are you going to be keep your class or you're multi-classing? Is anybody multi-classing?
No multi-class.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, you should know what your hit die is. You give it a roll. Re-roll 1.
Oh, here we go. Yours is the 12. What's your barbarian? All right, here we go. Survey says, yeah, babe, confirm 7.
Okay.
So it'll be
You know
plus
what
my
yours is?
constitution. So
You know what yours is?
D12.
So yeah, update your hit points. Just for anyone watching,
Let me
what's your
get
new
2.
total hit points score?
now I went from 37 to 47.
Okay. What's your AC?
Now because of the feat, it's going to be 16.
16. What feat did you pick up?
I picked up the dual wielder.
Dual wielding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You can have
plus
2
one
and 1
AC,
in each hand.
and dual wield, even weapons are not light.
Okay. Delana, our barbarian. Roll that die.
Come on, get a big one. Ooh!
10 plus
10
3.
Plus 3, 13. Update your hit
Ooh,
points.
okay.
Ooh. You should not beat me now. Mm-hmm.
All I see is your
Yeah, someone blew me out the water now.
Oh yeah, barbarian easily.
Mm-hmm. I've been rolling pretty good for a ranger.
So what's that new hit point total in AC?
50,
When your AC goes up?
No,
No,
I'm
AC.
just for
AC.
people watching. So it's for-
51, and my AC is 15.
What? Okay, yeah.
That's
Did you pick up a feat?
Why do you make the one look like a 7?
That's what I
It's
she
not
put it
meant
beside
for
the
those great children. You know.
It's a 1 with a little bit of flair, okay?
One with
wanted
a
to be
pompadour.
close. It wanted to be close to the 5.
It was a 1 with a pompadour.
And it's going to be great weapon master.
Great weapon master. It's a barbarian. Very nice. Okay. Thunder Stout.
2.
Oop.
2?
Plus 4, so 6.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
He tried to
6.
jinx me with a 2.
Armor class of 12.
Oh
And
my God.
feat of Warcaster.
So what's your total hit points now? I had 6 to
34.
34. Okay. Warcaster as a sorcerer. So
Okay.
what's cool about Warcaster?
I have advantage on concentration checks against losing concentration for being hit.
Right.
I can cast spells with items in both hands.
Okay.
And I can't remember the third part.
And I believe if you're casting a ranged spell within melee range, it does not give you disadvantage.
No, that's not that one.
I think
That's not that one?
I thought there was something about like if you could do an opportunity attack, you could use.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
what
yeah,
it was.
that's-
That's
okay.
what it was. Instead of using a melee attack, I could
Do a
cast a
spell.
spell.
You cast a melee spell, yeah.
Oh no, any
Just a
spell.
spell.
Oh, I thought it was melee. Okay.
Well, I mean, they're leaving melee, but you can cast whatever spell. Okay,
Okay.
and now Onyx.
As a cleric, I get a D8. That's a 7 plus 1, so 8. So current hit points will be 34 now.
Okay.
And I did decide to take a feat. I decided to take the Shield Master feat. So basically, whenever I make a dexterity saving throw targeting against just myself, I can add my shield AC bonus to it. If I pass a dexterity saving throw just against myself, I can use my reaction to automatically pass it. And I can also shove a creature 5 feet after I make a melee attack action with a bonus action.
Oh, okay. Shield shove.
Yep. And my current AC is 17 because shield, and total hit points 34.
That's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
So where does the shield go as you're flying around? Because like, when we were in the ferry, you had all, you were doing all the
Oh.
stuff, like you were impeded with the shield.
I got a strap that lets me hook it to my back, and it doesn't really impede my wings because of the type of shield it is. It's
So you
a,
got a strap on?
Wait. So,
Yes.
so when you were wearing the wings, was the wings on top of the shield?
the
behind
wings
the
the wings were over my shoulders, kind of interfering with my actual wings a little bit. It was a little bit uncomfortable, but they were still attached, and then my shield was strapped on top of that.
So it's a double strap on.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you know,
You enjoyed every bit of it.
if you can imagine it, it works, and if you
Yep.
can't imagine it, that's probably a good thing for some of this, so.
Yeah.
Almost a sword fight in that little truck.
Yeah, you know, we should
Yeah,
get to that, right? Let's talk about some of the things that happened in chapter 1, before we move on. Just, because, you
You got
know,
the same amount of
it'd
HP
be
as
good
me.
to just kind of remember
34.
some of the things we've done, in chapter 1 at the carnival. It may have seemed like fun and games, but
Why he do that?
let's talk about that, right? So we started, right, we got to the carnival. Mysteriously, you guys had tickets purchased for you. You met Veneer, who is an NPC that is not part of the original Witchlight. It's an NPC based off of some other players. One of the things I do with this campaign is I have other sessions that run, and sometimes the things that other players do lead into this campaign. It makes for interesting interventions and whatnot. But you guys met the goblin who was giving out the tickets. You guys got your tickets. You immediately wanted to go to the snail races, right? You were introduced, there was the opening ceremonies with the tree and the squirrel and the wishes, and one of you kind of ate dirt on the way, rushing to get to catch the little sycamore seeds. But you know, everybody got to make a wish at some point, and you know, the great thing about that first episode, we got to have some audience participation,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Yep.
In fact, Austin's sister was one of the audience members who got to ride the snail, the one that did pretty poorly up until right there at the end, made for some interesting results. You guys, any particular parts you remember about the snail races that kind of stood out?
I believe I won that, right?
It was real close.
Yeah, it was real close,
It was
but I
real
rolled just
close.
a teeny bit bigger.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Scott got a nat 20 right there.
Oh
at the
yeah,
end.
that's right. I was ahead, and he rolled in that 20, and he
Yep.
just able to shoot
It was
right
neck
past
and
me.
neck, three of you.
My favorite part was when one of the riders got ran over by its own snail.
That, yeah, he tried to help your sister and ended up getting run over instead. It was pretty interesting. That race finished up.
Slimy finish.
Scott's character got first place. One of the things we didn't even talk about was the pilot episode that, you know, was just we never hasn't been aired yet, but you know, with the fishing. You know,
Yes,
all
the
little
fishing
flounders.
jamborees.
And even though it didn't even seem like that much, right? It seemed like, you know, you guys you chose between the ducks and the bearded dragons, the lizard skies, and the only person to really do anything in that sense was Stolberg. He kind of did an animal handling check, and so gained the favor of the dragons.
I mean, I tried casting a couple spells to try to help me in my favor.
Yeah, well, okay, you tried to spook him away with some thaumaturgy.
It helped.
But it
did
helped.
help.
It made for some interesting results. Where did we go after the snail races? You guys remember? If it's hard to remember, it's because it was so tiny. Everyone was hiding.
Yeah,
the
it was
fairy,
the Fairy Kingdom,
the hideout,
The
meant the
Pixie
hide.
Kingdom,
Yeah.
yes.
Pixie Kingdom. Excuse us, we had to turn the map around so we could see.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the Pixie Kingdom, and I know I won that just because I had a little bit of advantage with the wings to be able to fly up
Hide
into a
and
tree.
seek action going on. Yep. Actually, funny enough, you were not, you didn't have advantage because you may have, I can't remember.
Basically, I was the only one up in that
I think it
area.
was like you had a flat roll and other people had
Yep,
advantage.
I didn't mean advantage roll. I meant like
Yeah.
I was able to get up higher.
Yeah. There was there was some interesting stuff going on. The ranger would have had some pretty good rolls hiding in the flowers for some checks he had made in advance. But someone had, sown a little gossip amongst the flowers to cause a distraction, which got in the way of that.
Yeah.
There was this mystical little will-o-wisp that started hunting people down very quickly and finding them, until finally Stone got to be the last one that was found. And that was because they were asked, like, come out, wherever you are, and finally presented yourself. So you got a little prize for that. Enjoyed some treats, got a little bit of gossip, heard about the mime that had lost his voice, ironically enough.
Yep,
You moved on. Where'd you guys go from there?
Then we,
There was a little halfling fella. He had lost something, right? You followed him over to Lost and Found.
yeah, we went to Lost and Found to help him find, I believe it was,
His little kids.
There were
In
some
the
little
fo-
kids there at the Lost and Found. Yeah.
Then one of the kids picked up a ball or something like that, and Dollar Guard yelled at him, and it scared him.
Yep.
And then we had to chase the kids.
Had to go find one of the kids.
And when we had the Hall of Illusion arc.
Yep. We did. We did have the Hall of Illusion art. You guys, before you got to the Hall of Illusions, you guys had dispersed around a little bit. Wendy had helped tackle a dragonfly out of the air.
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Because a particular rabble rouser had disturbed that dragonfly while a dwarf was trying to get on. A kinku, who was disguised as one of the attendees, had caused it to go off early, which you guys might not have known at the time. While that was happening, Dahlberg happened to have found the kid. There was some candy with a bee inside of it. Turned out to be the queen bee. You guys have made you convinced to not just steal candy from a child, right? Yeah, you made a trade. Made your way back over to Lost and Found. From Lost and Found, do you remember where you guys went from there?
I think that was I think that's when we decided to go to the Hall of Illusions.
Yeah, kind of. Might have been going to, let's see, from the hall. What do you guys remember? What do you guys think?
Oh no, we
Started doing rides and stuff not long after.
No,
No,
we
no.
did the side gigs.
we followed
Like-
Kiloseem because
No, we did the side gigs first, like the outstare the Cyclops
Yep.
and stuff like that.
oh yeah, okay.
And then
Somebody fought some goblins.
It's wrestling.
yeah. Me and Wendy slammed some goblins.
You guys had run into a particular kinku, kettle steam.
Stole some buttons from the button lady.
Stole some buttons from the button lady. You guys had chased him around. Ended up having a little conversation. And as you guys were wrapping that up, things were going good, right? Here comes Burley, a bugbear.
Yep.
At first, a
And-
little bit of tension.
I'm sitting out in the open by myself, not trying to hide, with some buttons in my hand. Like, I got buttons.
That's right.
Everybody else is just hiding.
You know, little. Don't know if anybody may have picked up on the 5 halflings that were on the ball, named A, E, I, O, and U.
Yep.
Uh,
Where's why?
That's
We don't
so
know.
foul.
Yeah, who had tumbled in. Turns out Burley, he had some qualms about what was going on as well, and in this moment, sided with Kettlesteam, right? But works for the Witchlight Carnival, so can't really break the boss's rules. He's got to keep his job, right? So that's the beginning of the conniving. What did you guys learn about? What did you guys end up having? Why were you guys here? Like, what was your draw?
We were invited here, tickets paid for, and we found out later it was from a certain little bard.
Initially, you were all drawn here because of the items you had lost
Yeah, that's right.
previous.
Yep.
And so even though you still, even though it's just a trinket from your past, there's always been a slight pull, a yearning of something lost. And so it finally brought you back here. You guys had made a plan with Kettlesteam and with Burley. You guys did some games. You guys ended up having a meeting, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
And that's when we found out their special things were the weather pane and the stopwatch.
Weather
Or the
vane.
watch.
Weather
Weather
vane
pane.
and the watch, that's right.
Vane, vane.
Yeah, weather vane, weather vane. You tried your darndest to just ask straight questions
Yep.
in a Fey realm themed circus.
After we were warned not to do
And
that.
after it's told
Dun.
several times, you can't
We
do
have
it.
party members
you
that don't
gotta
like
play
it.
the game if you want to get the results. And every time, no.
I told them not to do
Straight
it, and they did
question
it.
on a straight answer.
Listen.
And so, after multiple failed attempts to get a straight answer, you guys
Mission Impossible.
realized that if you want a straight answer, you need the leverage to wring it out of them. And so eventually, you guys connive a plan to get that leverage. What was the item that you guys chose to try to get?
Stopwatch.
Okay.
Figured the stopwatch would be a little bit easier to take since Mr. Light was all over the carnival while Mr. Witch had seemed like a set like routine he followed.
Yep. Mr. Witch was the one who seemed to have not been at the Big Top Extravaganza, so it was easier to interact with during that time. You guys have made several allies in the carnival. Palasha, Candlefoot,
Delagon.
Delegar, yeah.
Delagon,
Or Delegar.
a halfling couple
Yeah.
that we glossed over that whole part so far, but there was a halfling couple that almost botched the proposal because they got too close to a mannequin of Tasha,
Oh, yeah.
the
The
wizard, the
Bewitched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hideous laugh.
caught by Tasha's hideous laughter. Indeed, you guys made your way into the Hall of Illusions and had a glimpse into the other side. All right, there was the halfling and
And
the
the
interaction
piggy
with
girl.
Sal Pig.
Yep.
The little girl. What's the deal with Sal Pig? You guys remember any of that?
She works for like one of the 3 coven leaders.
Tie some to come over through the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember any of the other lackeys of the coven leaders that you may have seen stealing items from people?
The elf thing.
The shadow elf lady.
Yeah, there was an elven lady.
But I don't remember the other.
It was a frog-looking fella. It was in a tree. Only one of you might have seen it.
I was gonna say. I didn't-
Yeah. It was a fella kind of looked like a frog kind of humanoid. That nobody really noticed too much, but one of you might have seen on a particular role at one point. Didn't seem too important though.
Yeah.
You guys had navigated the Hall of Illusions. Dahlberg deciding, you know what, let's just break this mirror, right? Why not? Not gonna have 7 years of bad luck. That boy, in that 6 seconds around, that is a lot of status debuffs right there.
Trust me, I used to
7
work for a
years.
glass company.
Man, somebody do that math.
Did you learn your lesson not to break glass?
I
Save the
still
kid.
wish you made them do like a athletics check to see if they cut themselves
Cut
on,
themselves on the
on
broken
walking through the
glass.
glass.
It was plexiglass. It was
I'm
fine.
not emo.
It was plexiglass. It was fine.
Y'all get what you
guys,
deserve.
Let's see, there's Hall of Illusions. You had your meeting. You guys decided to go over. Does anyone want to describe, from your perspective, what transpired in the getting the watch episode?
That
I snuck into the staff area while being invisible. Mission Impossible, past some bubbles.
You would not believe how close you was to being caught. There was one point that bubble was so close to you.
Dun, 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 dun. Rummaged through the staff in Mr. Witch and Mr. Light's tent or caravan,
Yeah.
and got the crown of the
Which
the
yeah.
Witchlight Monarch crown,
Yeah.
and got out, and that's the end of my
Thank
part in
goodness
there.
you left that window open.
Oh yeah, and I left the
Yeah.
window.
And you
Yeah,
left the window open.
See, and
I
that's
knew
the-
something. I knew something.
You was actually supposed to go and do something else, but you got done with your task and you decided to go ahead and do that because that wasn't even part of the plan.
Hey, what happens happens.
Hey, nobody else is in there. I don't gotta make a stealth check to steal stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you was going in there just to try to like find some like
More
paperwork.
evidence.
Yeah, maybe evidence or paperwork, and you didn't find it, but you knocked the crown down, so you went and just grabbed that because you seen that was additional leverage.
Hey, you know, it be how it be.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You were looking for. You were looking for specifically a particular type of paperwork. The roll wasn't high enough to find that, but it was high enough to find the crown.
Yeah.
So that's what had happened.
Yeah. Then afterwards, while everyone else was trying to convince some of the other allied members of the carnival to kind of help us in this situation, and basically everyone getting their places, I decided to go and get the stopwatch from Mr. Witch as we were going through and sitting up to the river.
Yeah, what was the distraction that was going on that allowed that to happen?
The
Or at least that
gnome, the
attempt.
gnome knocked him into the water.
Well, before that,
Boy, also.
The gnome didn't knock him into the water. The gnome
No.
was splashing in the water to clean
Oh,
himself off.
Stone knocked him into the water.
Stone,
Yeah.
having horribly failed a sleight of hand check,
Yeah.
bumped in the wrong way.
And there was a kid drowning.
yeah, I was about to say, are we going to
And
forget the
then,
kid drowning that our
You know,
ranger
everybody
demon?
else
Yeah.
forgot
Then
the kid
the
drowning.
lawful good, or what is it? Good, good neutral.
Neutral.
Almost contemplating like the kid dying.
Somebody
Yeah.
else will handle that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
It's like, well,
So after
Yeah,
failing the
I
stealth
didn't
check
put him
or the
there.
sleight hand check to get the
You know,
watch,
Palasha may have noticed, if not having immediately previously been distracted by her boss falling into the water. That was kind of her priority after that. So yeah, good that at least one of you did see the kid, right? It was a good thing, saving a kid.
there's just the contemplation about it was the sketchy thing.
Neutral good.
What happened when you tried to steal the watch?
So of course fell on the sleight hand check instead of cutting
Do
the
you remember
lead
why I described?
because as I was going to cut the stopwatch rope that he had tied to his waist, he turned, and that made me lose my balance and knock him into the river.
That, and also when you went to go for the watch wasn't there. That's what threw off your momentum.
Oh yeah, that's right. He turned and also felt like there was like no weights on the
Right.
The
string.
chain.
So in that moment there was no watch, but when he fell in and then was helped out by the gnome, now they were on the way back. He checked his watch on the way back to his
It was
staff
waterlogged.
area, and it was waterlogged. And you followed him invisibly.
Yep, being
to the
invisible
staff area.
that entire time. Followed him into the staff area. Narrowly was able to swoop into the door, went full torpedo style, tucked in my
Oh,
wings, and
man,
dove
that
into
was
the caravan.
Danger zone right there. That was
Into
extreme.
the
So many
danger
dice
zone.
were rolled for that.
Yeah,
That DC 15.
and here it is, a small little caravan. Not much room to move around.
Big neck
Sit-
and orc.
Yep,
Sitting
got
there,
you a
literally
strip
just,
show.
Or elf.
He got a strip tease.
literally just sitting there waiting for him to a right time for him to turn around so I could grab the watch. All the meanwhile, he is getting completely butt naked.
Strip tease.
Yep, and as I grab the watch, he turns, and I just see a face full of elven genitalia. After averting my eyes from that, I managed to luckily find a window that was open and fly out.
I'm surprised you didn't get like D10 psychological damage.
I probably should have.
Do you need counseling?
It was more like a D6.
Have you seen the size of that
He
man?
describes it
Well,
as
you think
D10
about his
psychological
size too,
damage,
though.
but-
So
You got, yeah, so
roll for emotional
you
damage.
burgle.
That's what I said,
the
psychological.
watch, barely make your way out. Again, so close on those rolls with Thaco, right? You make your way out. You spend the next hour attuning to the watch, lazily going around the river, listening to a swan who asked some pretty deep questions. Didn't like the results that some of you gave, and most of you got pretty wet after that.
Y'all welcome.
Whenever your invincibility dropped, you realized you were 30 pounds heavier, which is a lot to say. For
Well,
a
no,
gnome,
we
a
realized
fairy.
that at the feasting orchard. He was really hungry.
What-
Then we went to the feasting orchard. Then he got really fat.
No, he was fat
No, he was
as he
fat
got
for
off the ride,
ba-
as he attuned to the watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
remember
what
that's
made him
why
a
he was
blueberry.
hungry.
That's why we went to the feasting orchard, because we heard about the
And you were
the
hungry.
cupcake eating contest.
Super hungry. Yep. You guys devoured a whole bunch of cupcakes.
I think I ate like 106.
It was, yeah, somebody tell us how many got eaten. But yeah, it was a lot of them. After the feasting orchards, I think you hooked back up with a particular gnome bard, right? Eliwick. Got
Yep,
a little
yep.
bit of information from Eliwick, right? And began talking to the horses, right? You had that whole
Yep.
thing with the unicorns on the Ferris wheel.
Mhm.
right?
The
You guys
gossiping.
remember any of that?
Yeah, they told us all about the three coven sisters.
Absolute
and-
best lore drop portion of the entire chat. The moment
Yeah.
you've been waiting for. Finally, somebody giving us straight answers without even asking for it.
Yeah.
And I knew the moment you guys realized it, because everybody picked up a pencil. Like, oh,
Slow down, slow down.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Yep.
Then we went to the mystery mime.
You remember Diana Cloppington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The not centaur.
Not a centaur.
She's the centaur of attention.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, say it ain't so.
So you guys began putting
She sure hooked it up.
after that, after getting the info from these chatty unicorns. One of you even going on a magical journey during that ride, appearing slightly darker in mood and persona than before getting on the ride. Stone's character Onyx took a magical journey between realms. And was playing in our other dungeon group on Casual Fridays and was given some good rewards. What'd you get? You remember that?
I got a cape of, I think we can call it Cape of the Bat Cloak or something like that.
Something like that. Cape of the Night or something.
Yeah, Cape of the Bat. Basically, it just gave me advantage on stealth checks. I could wild shape into a bat once per short rest as a bonus action. I get advantage on intimidation. And once per long rest, I can cast Featherfall on myself.
Yep.
The flying
You
character
also
casting Featherfall.
You also had a hat
Oh, yeah.
that we already talked about.
So during Winter Side Adventures,
Same with the crown.
yeah, I got the crown of the, what was it, 1 million? Leaky Tap of the 1 millionth customer.
1 millionth customer.
Basically, I walked out of a tavern, walked back in, and apparently I was a 1 millionth visitor, so I got a crown of Leaky Tap, and it just constantly drips down any type of alcohol onto my nose.
An illusionary drip. So you don't feel it, you just see it.
Yep. And 3 times, for 3 charges, I can basically fill up any size tankard of whatever alcohol I choose.
So if he ever goes invisible, will there just be?
It'll be
Drip.
invisible too.
I was gonna say, is there just gonna be a drip of
The
liquid?
illusion will be invisible. Yeah. But yeah, you guys finished with the horses. Decided it is getting close to the end of the night. You put your plan in action, right? You guys talked to Mr. Witch.
What, you're missing the mystery mine.
Oh, please, let's go back to the mystery mine. Tell me.
That we got to go through all of our horrors of like what are our biggest fears, and
Yep.
some other people were on there, and that one guy in the
That-
very back.
That poor man who failed
Oh my
every
God.
single wisdom saving throw.
Rolled a lot of ones on his part.
We may see his dead body in future
Um,
sessions because of
the-
that.
A couple days.
Someone, most likely the bard, had a really messed up horror or fear.
Yeah.
The robots and oil and
Just bad
Zombies.
stuff, yeah.
Basically, almost the apocalypse happened to the carnival, and there was nothing she could
I
do about
think
it.
everyone failed that wisdom
Yeah.
saving throw. Yeah, it got
That one
pretty
was a
scary
little-
on that one. Yeah, we're going to be talking about those.
Actually, I passed that
coming
one.
up pretty quick. But yeah, you guys finished with that and ended up finally confronting Mr. Witch, right? Instead of trying to twist his arm, you're like, hey, we found this, and we know you need it. And he honored the rules of the Feywild, and you guys offering him the thing that he needed. He gave you the thing you wanted in return, which was as straight of an answer as he could give you. You guys then began closing out the evening with the ending ceremonies.
We did.
At the last moment, the Witchlight Monarch crown was retrieved and given to one of you. You guys decided to roll to see who would win. And everyone except for one of you regretted that immediately afterwards. You paraded around for about an hour and then was more or less unceremoniously shoved through the portal to be gone.
With supplies, they gave us
With
supplies.
some supplies. Well, some of you were definitely supplies when it happened. But and then the last one of you, Stone, your character, on the way through, they stopped you, gave you one last bit of, well, a little bit of tidbit of wisdom, a little pamphlet, just to get you on your way. And now, that's the end of chapter 1. We're going to start chapter 2 in the Hither and see what goes on from there. So thank you, everyone, for watching this recap episode of chapter 1 for Self-Critical. Hope to see you at chapter 2 soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.